Hello people, this is the wizard right here, and I'm gonna go show you guys how to make a hi-hat and an open hat. So first of all, let's go with the start with a hi-hat. So this hi-hat right here, friction hi-hat, or omen hi-hat, the one I just made for District 3. I'm gonna just show you guys like how I come up with it, like how I make it, and then just for you guys just to watch and learn, you know what I mean. And then after that, um maybe someday you might make something different than me or something like that, I don't know. All right, so we got this Dawizvrd drum station. Now this is a beautiful drum machine that has been used around lately. So I know a lot of people, like a lot of you from you guys, like you don't know about this drum machine, but this drum machine is really goated. That's all I could say. Luke John, you know, he's been using this drum machine, and this drum machine is really beautiful. I'm gonna just use this hi-hat right here. I'm gonna tell you guys why this hi-hat is very beautiful. Basically, if I like click normalize right here, and then like you see the background noise, it has like a beautiful, you know what I mean, it has a beautiful background noise and stuff. That's what I like about this hi-hat. It has a really good texture. So basically I'm gonna just like see which section has the way beautiful you know what I mean, transient and reverse polarity on this, so it just look like that, like going down and stuff, you know what I mean. Or maybe right here. Nah, I might just go like here. All right, when it comes to the mixing process, when you mix it differently, you come up with a different waveform, you know what I mean. Or if you just pitch shift it, yeah, you will come up with a different waveform. There's no rules when it comes to sound designing. All right, so one of my friend, his name is Prod Big Smoke. Prod underscore Big Smoke. This guy is an audio engineer, and I was having a conversation with this guy, and he taught me one good thing about it, like what the producers shouldn't do. But like I said, like there are no rules, yes, but it's depends on you if you wanted to. A lot of producers, I see that you guys put it like here, like Valhalla and the piano, and then like, you know, like in the mess around with the mix knob, you get what I mean. But what he taught me was he put it in the bus right here, and this is gonna be the reverb bus basically, and he just left it like that. And then when you play around, this is gonna be your mixes control. So that's what I learned from him, and I was kind of amazed by it. We're gonna do that basically on this hi-hat. We're gonna use the mix engineer method basically. Since we're all sound designers, most of the producers are looking for the producers drum sounds, but the mix engineers are the one who just making it sound better for your beat, because that's their job, of course. Duh. Okay, so now we got this hi-hat. I'm gonna go with this 5 filter EQ, just Pro Q, you know what I mean. Very simple, just low cut like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just right there. That's beautiful. And then let's see. Let's add one more. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. Maybe I might add yeah, a saturation. And one of my favorite preset is this one, dynamic warm transformer. Just make it sound older or something. And then what I would add is a decimort right here. And then what I would do, I'm gonna use this resonance knob, a filter resonance knob, and just boost it by 20%. Yeah, just to give it like a, you know, like a ear pierce, high frequency, beautiful high frequency, so it just hits at the same time. No, that sounds beautiful. Yeah, I always gotta normalize it right there. What I like to do, just go to this good drum plate. Maybe move this to the right. Yeah. And then put this UAD. You don't really need this, but this is what I usually use for mastering my sounds, like every of the sounds, like snare, 808s and stuff. I don't know about this beautiful. It's just beautiful. I don't know, like the waveform, like it looks beautiful. I don't know, bro. It's just when it just sounds good, it just sounds good. But this is what I like to use for my mastering my drums and stuff. So There we go. Just like render it out on the Edison. But I like to put a saw clipper. Look at that. That looks beautiful. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful hi-hat I've ever heard ever in my life. Oh my goodness. That gives me like goosebumps right there. Yeah, we could just do that. Or you could just like, you know, mess around with this montation knob and then go to like transient or speech or mono, whatever you feel like, you know. But for now, I just like this way. And another plugin that I want you to introduce is that, I'm sorry, but you know what? I have been gatekeeping this plugin for years now. And shout out to KAADIK who put me onto this plugin. So KAADIK put on to Brandon and Brandon told me about this plugin. So, and I asked KAADIK, asked like permission if I can reveal this plugin. And KAADIK said yes. So shout out to KAADIK. Everybody thank KAADIK, okay? So KAADIK is a sound designer who used to be a sound designer for Cymatics and Producer Grind. And he's a really goated sound designer I've ever met. I learned so much from that guy. He's a fucking goat, okay? So basically, this is the plugin right here, a nerd plugin. This is a really beautiful plugin that I've ever encountered. So let's put it right here. So you just go to precal. There's like a repitch knob. You know, you can repitch it the sound. You can add some fuzz. You can add like some, I don't know like what kind of distortion that is, but I'm just like figuring it out, you know. Some square, saw. This is a really beautiful a plugin, a VST that I've ever encountered for sound designing. It's really beautiful. So what I like to do, I like to just cause a little spread just to soften the sound. There we go. And let me repitch it. And give it a little fuzz. Maybe a little bit. And if you want to go back to 0, you press Control and click it. Yeah, just to make it sound more thicker, you know what I mean? Now you got a thick ass hi-hat. And then what I would do, I would EQ it on here on Edison. Just draw it out. Nah, maybe like that. Ooh, that gives like a, you see what I mean? This EQ is beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. I think this is better. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So, you know, that's how I, you know, make a hi-hat right here. And then save sample as, and you just name your stuff. You know what I mean? And you do you. There you go. And now let's move on to the open hat. All right, so this time you guys want to know how to make this kind of open hat, right? This open hat right here. Most of them, the hi-hat and open hat, it sounds soft. It's because they were making beats on their MPC, and the MPC gives like a beautiful saturation to the drum sounds. So of course, since I don't have an MPC with me, duh, there's no VST that can give a beautiful saturation like that. That's why a lot of producers, like industry producers, chose to use the hardware. It's because they give a beautiful saturation. And you know, whenever you do the drums, it gives like a humanized drum, a humanized bounce to it. You get what I mean? Every time you play the keyboard, like if you listen to the 1980s record, it doesn't sound quantized. Everything doesn't sound quantized. Unlike now, everything sounds quantized. There's nothing wrong with it, but you know, it's just music. Music is just so many answers that we just, you know, that we just don't know about. So back to that open hat. Just use this. I know like it sounds like a TR-808, you know, drum sounds, but you know what? The texture, it's just the texture that's what's making it different about this drum machine. So please relax. All right. what I would do right here, maybe I'll just EQ a little bit. Put the saw clipper on top, and I put the Edison on the bottom. There we go. The reason why I do this is because when it comes to effects, all right, like I said, when it comes to the effects, all right, effects, okay, the slot 10 comes first, okay. Like I literally just said it. When it comes to effects, just please don't misunderstand. A lot of people was just arguing me about it, okay. So I'll show you about that one. I'm gonna put the clipper in EQ, all right. And I'm gonna put the gain all the way up. Yes, it's gonna be very loud, but you know what? I'm gonna put the volume right down over here so that your ears can survive. I'm sorry about my English, but you know what I mean. All right, you know what the clipper does? The clipper prevents it from clipping to, you know, prevent from peaking. Basically, it doesn't go overboard about, or like, you know, it doesn't let you go overboard above 0. So hold on. You see that? 0. Now if you put it on here, of course it's gonna go past it. See, that's what I just said. When it comes to effects, the slot 10 comes first. There you go. All right. Now I'm gonna put the Edison over here. It's because I want, while it's prevent me from the clipping, I want the Edison to record it basically. So that is all. All right, let's go back to the open hat. Alrighty. Okay, and then another decimal plugin. You know what I mean? I really love this preset. I've been using it a lot. And then just throw some distortion. And then after that, some reverb. Alrighty. Some reverb. Yes, I have to use this knock knob. There we go. And then I'm gonna use this equalizer. Do the same thing again. Now that sounds like a, I don't know, soda air can or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can do that. And then what I would do, I'm gonna give this veil filter, Saturn. Oh wow. Maybe, yeah, I'll just throw some vocal doubler in it to just make it a little bit stereo, you know. And then another reverb just to like soften the sound. Instead of using this, I might just use Shaper Box. There we go. Yep, there you go. So that's how you make an open hat right there. So I'm gonna show you guys a bonus video, basically. If you guys want to make another, you know, hi-hat and open hat video, basically, I'm gonna make it like a bonus, just for you guys, just, you know, for you guys to learn and stuff. I'm gonna go with Serum 1 for now, is because I'm not familiar with the controls with Serum 2. So shout out to ZENS for showing me this trick. It's a really beautiful trick though, I'm not gonna lie. So just do that, and then maybe put this on 8, I guess. Yeah, exactly. And then put this on high 24. Yeah, maybe like, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna record it on mono first. Oh man, just a little bit. Sounds ugly. Alright. And then yeah, Pro EQ. Oh man, it's alright. You know what? I'm gonna just use that later. We got the open app from scratch. Yes. Shout out Jens on that video, but and then I'll just EQ this out. Same thing. That sounds eerie. Alright. And then what I will do, just to make a hi-hat, an EFX fragments. There's a hi-hat maker that can make, you know, there's a preset that can make a hi-hat from this plugin. There you go. So if I record that, yeah, you got the hi-hat right here. You can do that and then just envelope it, you know what I mean? You can do that too. Or you can use that, you know, just for like a drum accent. Yeah. Or you can use this one too, shipper box. I know there's one that can make a hi-hat on this one too. If you go to the sound design section, you can use this one too. Yeah. You know, just to make a hi-hat, you can just chop it off for you. What else? Yeah, you can make that one too. You can make this one too. A high band grain. You can use this plug overtones, this short glitch art. Yeah, shuffle shaker, tone chopper. Yeah, you can use those presets and stuff. Or what you can do, another one thing is that you can do this too if you want to make a hi-hat. If you just want to do this. You know, just envelope it and stuff, or you can just reverse it. Just like find the, you know, the sweet spot that you guys want to find. whatever you guys like to do. Basically, there's a lot of ways, basically, you know, like I showed you with the moves and stuff. So that's it for showing how I make my hi-hats and open hats. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's the Wizard, so don't forget to like and subscribe.